it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian. Check this out. I have to recant on something here. This is great. So I said I was going to give this record another chance. And I also promised I'd pronounce the great next time. I told Andreas this. So this band, the Four Levels of Existence, is what you usually see them listed as, but they're actually called Ta Tessera Epipeda Tis Upaxis. I think that's right. Ta Tessera Epipeda Tis Upaxis. Alright, so that's my shitty Greek. Yeah, this is awesome, man. Some of the songs are there a little bit slowed down. The singer's kind of weak, but man, this rocks, dude. And it has like, on the slower songs even more than this, it has a really cool like psych sound. So I don't know, man. I said in the last time I talked about this that I was hoping for more out of this record than I got. I don't know, dude. I must have been like in a weird frame of mind or something. At least I had the sense to keep it because this survived a pretty substantial purge. And yeah, man. Fucking 2 thumbs up for Ta Tessera Epipeda. Yeah, fucking great. I'll tell you something, I like that record a lot more than this one, which I also played. It's another one I pulled out after I saw Sonic Mainliner's video. This Christmas record, this Canadian one, I don't know, man, it looks great, but I just thought it was lame. There's even it's like a side-long jam on side too, but I just thought it was kind of boring and kind of noodly and didn't really go anywhere, and the songs, like the pop songs, were just kind of like saccharine, and I don't know, it wasn't terrible, man, but I like their second record a lot more. What was it called? It might just be called Christmas, actually. But the second one is more sort of heavy and kind of rocking. It's not like a really hard record, but it has a tank on the cover, and it just rocks a little harder than that one, so it's better. And I also pulled this one out again too, this Moolah one, which Andreas was also talking about. And this is, I thought this record was kind of masturbatory, really. It has a cool sort of like psyche sound to it, but you know, I didn't like this for the same reason I didn't really like the Yahoah records that much. And I say I didn't like it, but it wasn't really bad. It wasn't like crap. It was just kind of like, it was kind of like spacey, like psychedelic for its own sake. It didn't seem to have a lot of purpose. And given what an Amandoul 1 fan I am, that might sound kind of hypocritical, but I don't know. I mean, I actually like this record, okay, but I feel like I'm probably coming down on it harder than it deserves. But it's not really a record that I feel like I could recommend in particularly good conscience because it's kind of bullshit. And for what it is, it's late too. This record's like 74. So yeah, it says Moolah. It's Maurice and Walter present Moolah, their paranormal concert work. A cosmic rock relaxation creation to elevate sensory awareness to include the aura of intuitive perception of higher realms of human divine consciousness, using the astral body projection experience vehicle to pierce time, space, logic, dimension, barriers, on the return voyage to the ultimate concept, the origin. Alright, that really sums it up. You know, if you can stomach that load of bullshit, then you can stomach this record just fine. But, you know, it's not bad because I can stomach that shit, but it's, you know, I would recommend Psychedelic Underground by Amandoul before I'd recommend this. If you love that record and you want something that's similar but not quite as hard-hitting, this is a really good record. So there we go. So, see, this slows down a little bit, the second song, but like, it's still like rock, it's definitely psychedelic, but it's serious, and like I said, that weak singer is kind of, I don't know, that's the only thing I can think of that might have put me off. But dude, this is not the only record with a weak singer that I've ever listened to. Alright, now I gotta get my coffee out of the way here, because we got a soda to dip me into here. Just finishing that shit off. So here we go. Yeah, it's funny, this is like the apology video, right? Because like, This record is so good. I don't know. Okay, so we're busting out this one. My wife actually got this like at the gas station or something for me, but this is a orange and cream frost top. And it's naturally and artificial. Actually, it says natural and artificially flavored. That's funny if they use an adjective and an adverb like that, but whatever. It's also caffeine free, which kind of sucks, but I'm pretty sure this is good though. I think I had this once before. It's a big fucking bottle though. Look at that thing, man. It's like, it says it's 3 servings. It's 24 ounces, right? 710 milliliters. So if you're in Europe watching this, this is a fucking soda. Y'all have big beers. We have big sodas, man. Yeah, in America, get fat or go home. Yeah, this is great, man. Has a nice cream soda, orange balance. It tastes like an orange creamsicle, and that's what you want one of these to taste like, dude. Man, that's so good. It's really satisfying. You know those videos on YouTube that are like the most satisfying of this sort of thing, like try not to be satisfied and all that bullshit. If I watched one of those and I drank one of these at the same time, I would just like melt into like a puddle of jelly. This hits the spot, and I didn't even know that spot was there needing to be hit. But God, is that good. Alright, so I listened to a little Prince Hammer, because it's just sort of like a What's Playing video. It's a good record, Vengeance, smoking a big, it's kind of a wussy joint for a Rasta, I have to say, actually. I was kind of underwhelmed when I saw that. And that kind of represents this record pretty well, because it was a good record. It was a little more DJ than I liked. Like that World War I record that I showed, or World War II record that I showed last time, I thought was better. This one is kind of worthy of a joint that size. It's a good record, but it's not like the most fucking mind-blowing thing I've ever heard. So, I'm making these drug jokes in front of my kids. How do you like that shit? Oh, speaking of, by the way,
is the quality of the record just directly proportional to the size of the joint they were smoking?
Well, let me answer that question. You actually have to follow me with the camera. Okay, this is a great record. I'm not joking. This is a fantastic fucking record. And this is an original press. I actually just saw a reissue of this today, but like, when I found this, I jumped for joy with the fucking timing strip, and there's like an insert and shit. Hey, look at the back of that. Like, you can't even see him in that picture. So that's my answer to the question, okay? I mean, is that invariably true? Maybe not, but that Prince Hammer record is very good. This is awesome. This is one of my all-time... I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to play it. This is one of my all-time favorite reggae albums. I mean, U-Roy fucking rules anyway. This is the best U-Roy record. But man, there we go. So, we talked about artificial banana on the show because I really like artificial banana flavor. And it's funny because I sort of have the artificial orange and cream here today too, but Spencer actually learned something about artificial banana, which is really interesting, so go ahead and tell the story. So why does artificial banana taste so artificial to us is the question. Because the backdrop for this is that I really like artificial banana flavor. I've discussed this with a few people in the comments. Because it doesn't taste a fucking thing like banana, but it's delicious, and it's like just understood to be banana flavor, even though it doesn't really taste like banana at all. So, that being the backdrop, take it away.
So we were discussing this earlier because we were trying banana candy that we found. And the reason that banana candies don't necessarily taste like bananas is because the bananas we have today aren't necessarily the bananas that flavoring was modeled after. Before 1950, or around 1950, the main... Because bananas are all the same, wherever you go now. It's all a monoculture. And before about 1950, the dominant banana type was named the Gross Michael banana, after I'm pretty sure the guy who actually crossbred the banana in the first place. That's my understanding of it anyway. And Panama disease, around 1950, wiped out just about every banana that was Gross Michael. And that's the flavoring that this flavor was modeled after in the mid-1800s.
Yeah, apparently.
And they just kept using that. And so even though today we have a different type of banana and a different sort of, I guess you could say, subspecies of banana, we still use the older style of flavoring. Then the older style was a much sort of like harsher and sweeter banana.
Yeah, apparently Gross Michaels aren't completely extinct, but like they're all but extinct. Like they were just decimated by this disease that came along sometime in the 50s. So yeah, I had no idea though. I thought that was really interesting. So we're actually when we're eating those candies, like a banana Laffy Taffy, we're actually harkening back to like a World War II era banana. Or something like that. I mean, you know, that's kind of bullshit. I'm kind of making a joke out of it. But that's a true story. Isn't that interesting shit? So it's like horticulture with the metal theologian. All right,
the nature theologian returned there for a minute.
Nature theologian, right? All right, so I played this one. Got this one. This isn't much of a reggae record. This is kind of more of like a sort of a jazzy reggae record. Is like there's a lot of jazz in Jamaica in the 60s, like, and that influenced shit like the Scotalites a lot. Like a lot of these hotel bands and shit kind of brought that in. It's interesting, sort of playing for the tourists and that. But it sort of morphed into reggae over time. But this is sort of a remnant of that because I mean, obviously, you have the colors on there and shit, but so in spirit it's with the reggae, but it has a lot more sort of a jazzy feel than most of the things. This record didn't really rip my face off. I have another one which I think is by the same guy, which I liked a lot more. Look, the last couple of videos have been completely disorganized. I didn't even like sort out my records for this one. Like the shit's all mixed up with shit I showed in the last video. So this one I liked a lot more. And this is, I mean, look at the size of that lineup. I mean, this is really like a jazz band, like a big band almost, you know? So it's a lot of people on here. It's fundamentally a Cedric Brooks record. This is a smaller band. I think Cedric's on this one too, but I could be wrong. No, it's a completely different band. This is Light of Saba. That's a similar kind of style. I'll take Cedric Brooks over Light of Saba, but neither one is a bad record. This One Essence one, though, I've been after for a while, so pretty stoked to get my hands on that. Again, if I were into jazz, too, I don't know if I would enjoy that record very much. Not like, say, this one, which is like a full-on reggae record, which I just played. This one has some track overlap with some of the other shit. This is the Earmark reissue from a few years ago, but, you know, it's Lee Perry, man. I mean, look at that. He's got the cowbell on the cover. He's got the awesome fucking pants. Look at that shit, man. This record is as good as those pants. So you know it's fucking great. And now here's one that doesn't quite live up to the cover, okay? This is a very cool lovers rock record, okay? So there's nothing wrong with this kind of reggae, sort of like Gregory Isaacs, something along those lines. Not as good as Gregory Isaacs, but an enjoyable record. But man, look at that cover. I mean, matter of fact, it gets better, okay? Because here we have him lounging around in all these other poses, also without a shirt on for the most part. Yeah. He's winning your heart with his record here and with his red pants.
I could go on a trading card.
Yeah, this is pretty
That would
good.
be like a hypnotize move.
Yeah. So anyway, good record. You know, there have been a whole bunch of reissues coming out on this Burning Sounds label that I've kind of been checking out. You know, not all of them, because some of them are more like this, and some of them are more like this, which is a great dub record. This Burning Dub one, I mean, that's the kind of cover that I go for, right? This is really a Revolutionaries record, and yeah, Sly and Robbie, Ansel Collins, all the usual suspects, Tommy McCook, and the song titles, those of the more theologically minded among you might note, are actually the 12 Tribes of Israel. So, Yeah, so you know where this is coming from, but it's basically just a really good dub record, as is this one, which I pulled out to listen to. I've heard this one before, though, but another fantastic dub record. Star Wars dub. I mean, how can you argue with that shit, right? Oh, hell, speaking of Gregory Isaacs, there's Gregory Isaacs on deck as well. But that's not what I've been listening to, so it's supposed to be like a What's Spinning video, right? And like, I'm showing all the shit I haven't actually been playing, so. Okay, so here's one other one that I just got kind of recently. There's a comp called Black Slavery Days, and this is an awesome comp. It's 3 bands I've never heard of: Arrows, Skulls, and the Original Survivors. It's on Clappers Records, but I don't know, I heard something about this record being good, and I jumped, and it's just really good, man. It's actually on this Honest John's label out of somewhere in England, and they do some really good work too. They did a reissue of The Return of Pipecock Jackson by Lee Perry, which is also fantastic and was hard to get for a long time. So anyway, also very highly recommended if you dig the reggae. Alright, is that still focusing, or is it like, it's like all distracted and shit now? Let's see what else you've got here. I saw something else I want to talk about. Alright, so you know who else I've been listening to? Oh, actually, one more reggae record. This Orthodox dub one. This is Errol Brown. And look at how cheap this looks, man. I mean, it's actually like printed on there like that. It's not, and this is a reissue, you know. It's actually Japanese, look at that. But, awesome dub record. Fucking, yeah, this is so good, man. Just dry and cool and just fucking what you want in a dub record. So, okay, I have to salute something. I actually just found this earlier today, and it was kind of, it's funny because, like, you know, sometimes you get records and they're bad, and you're like, oh shit, man, that's a bad record, man, that kind of sucks, it's a bummer. And then sometimes you see them later after getting rid of them and go, that record sucks, I'm staying away from it. Now, this record is like a monument to badness. And it's actually, might be my all-time favorite band. I mean, I'm wary of committing to that, but I'm a huge Deep Purple fan. This is very late. Tommy Bolin was already in the band, okay? But this record, I remember I got this when I was like 14 or 15 or something, and I was like, what a piece of shit. I can't believe how bad this is. Like, the performance just sucks across the board. Like, David Coverdale sounds awful, and like, the songs just sound sloppy. And the whole thing is just a mess. And it's like, it's called The Last Concert in Japan. And it's like, yeah, it's because at that point they probably had enough, right? Alright, let me fucking find my inner sleeve here so I can put something else on. Actually, I'll put on the Cedric Brooks record because it's good, and I probably won't get a copyright notice for it, let's say. It's becoming more and more of a challenge, you know. Like today, I actually saw this record. I saw a reissue of this record earlier today, like I mentioned, I was at the record store, but it was a UMG reissue. I mean, it was on Virgin, right? But it was Universal Music Group, and I don't trust those motherfuckers one bit. So the other ones always hit me when I'm playing jazz records. So I'm afraid to play that one now, even though it's kind of a lesser-known reggae record. So we're listening to Cedric Brooks, and this will help me, you know, a picture being worth 1,000 words, and all this will help me articulate what this shit sounds like. This sort of, you know, kind of jazz reggae stuff with some roots in the old ska big bands. It's a really cool record though. So anyway, yeah, I saw this and I was like, man, I actually haven't heard this since I was like in my teens probably. I think I listened to it online like once just to see if it was actually as bad as I remembered it as being. But I couldn't believe it, man. This is just so shitty and like, I don't know, man. There it is. They're doing small acts, so yes, you're hearing correctly. I actually heard a story about this one. This is where I was going to go. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that, like, Tommy Bolin took, like, a fuckload of drugs. Because they were all fucking... This is, like, at the end, right? Glenn Hughes was way the fucked up, too, and that. But, yeah, Tommy Bolin, like, took a shitload of drugs or something and, like, fucked up his left hand or something like that. It's like when he was playing, like, on some of the shows, including when this was recorded, like, he couldn't, like, really move his left hand. So he's trying to play guitar, right? And he was like... can't really like do anything because his hand is all like fucked up because he like got so high and like did something to the nerves or something. Like, I think he slept on it or something weird, but I don't know. I don't know if the playing sounds quite bad enough for that on the record. That just tells you, like, how shitty it was. So, yeah. So, in my estimation, this is the worst live album, and I'm kind of proud to own it now. Because, I don't know, man, there's bad, and then there's just, like, I don't know, man, just, like, sort of transcendental, like, metaphysical badness, you know? So, speaking of records made drunk, or fucked up on drugs, the other one I wanted to show here, I've actually been listening to a lot of Megadeth. I've been listening to all this reggae, a little bit of psych, and a bunch of Megadeth. And this is a record I've kind of rediscovered relatively recently. I hate the fucking cover of Anarchy in the UK. What a pointless cover. And listening to this, I realized how it wasn't really all that great a song in the first place. Got a lot of mileage out of it when I was 15 and 16, but my god, man, I mean, God Save the Queen is a better song, but the fucking Sex Pistols were overrated anyway, man, let's be honest. But dude, this fucking record, you listen to this thing, and it really sounds like they wrote and performed the whole thing drunk, but it still sounds great, man. It's just fucking, I don't know, man. That's funny, because, like, I was so anti-Megadeth for so long, but now that I've come around on them, like, I have the other one sitting here, too, because I've just been playing that one, man. I've been playing this one, which I've talked about. It's kind of new in my repertoire, and this one. So this is also me, like, not doing the whole, like, I'm just going to play the first one thing that I did. You know what trips me out is, like, with my newfound Megadeth love, I'm actually finding that Megadeth, I would say, made more great records than Metallica did. Which means that Dave actually can accomplish what he set out to when he, like, wanted to show them. Because I have these 3 records right here, which are all great, and then Killing Is My Business over in the stacks. And as far as I'm concerned, And Justice for All was a piece of shit, and everything else they did after that was a piece of shit too. I mean, some of them weren't such bad pieces of shit, like, you know, the Black Album was a very good pop album. Like, if you heard that on the radio then, it sounded great on the radio. But as a metal album, it's a fucking joke. Justice, I know a lot of people like it, but I don't give a fuck, aside from the fact that it sounds like shit. It's like, all their records were too long, but that one was way too long. It was 2 whole fucking records. It was just meandering bullshit, no song structure, shit sound, and just crap. Fuck it, man. It's a piece of shit of a record. And even the earlier ones, man. That, you know, Megadeth, they did some shitty covers, okay, and the records suffer from that a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and tout I ain't superstitious or these boots are made for walking either, believe me. But they were like 3-minute covers that were bad and not 8-minute instrumentals that were bad. So what can I say, man? I reserve the right to change my mind on this again because Metallica is a lot deeper in my heart than Megadeth. Although I got it in about the same time originally. I just got more pissed at Megadeth than I did Metallica, I guess. I don't know. I can't even explain that shit, but that's my little observation for the day, so we'll see. So, how long has this been running?
23:19.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do a little deep tease. I got a big pack, actually, excuse me for scratching my nose so much. I got a VCLT pack, which I was specifically asked not to open on camera, but rather to open up and listen to the records and digest it, and then come back and talk about them when I can speak more intelligently, which I think is great. I'm happy to do that. I mean, that is why I needle drop things when I do these videos, you know, so you get the initial reaction, right? But also we get into like the music a little bit and sort of assess what it sounds like. So we're going to take that a step further this time, and that video is not ready yet, but that's coming up. So again, it's a little deep tease, and thanks for watching. And am I forgetting anything important? Yeah, nothing's important. What am I saying? All right, until next time.